What is up, my Little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the UBL Season 7 Week 4 battle when I go up against Sallymumble and his team being the Austin Tauros. He is somebody that I got to go up against the first time around in the Champions of Gala Tournament Week 9 battle, which was the last battle of the regular season back then. And back then he whooped my ass, to be honest. He 6-0'd me with a Lumberry Porygon C with dual dance. And I was clearly underprepared for that at that time around. Granted, the battle in itself back then for me didn't have kind of like any meaningfulness, because I was in the already in playoffs. The only thing that it mattered for me was potential seedings where I could have landed or should have landed or whichever, but I wasn't really too focused on that. But in a hindsight, obviously I would have rather had a better showing that back then it ended up being, but Sallymumble, fortunately for him, because he got that big win in the last week of the regular season back then, that meant that he made to the playoffs. So either way, I'm happy to now get a chance to rematch him and kind of have a vendetta of my own, similar to what I had in week 1 versus Addison aka Aquarius. There were quite a few battles definitely in the Champions of Gala tournament towards the second half of the season that I wish I could have gone back and done things different. But I definitely learned from them a lot, and I cannot obviously change it anymore. So now I'm just trying to get an opportunity, kind of quote-unquote redeem myself, even though it's not that serious anyways. But it's a nice always to be able to kind of have a better showing versus somebody that you felt like you underperformed heavily, what you were able to do that time around. But I digress from there. We just move on to the matchup in itself, which you can see above my face cam, and the timestamp for skipping the team builder part should be popping right about now in front of your screen. I'm gonna be trying something a little bit different with this, that I'm gonna be very brief with this, very short with the team builder, but you get to see sliders here and there when I'm talking about each one. You get to see the spread in itself, so you get the general idea what it's there for as I explain it as well. So it's gonna be ideal a lot shorter, but also still informative, so you know what they are there meant to be doing and what's then generally my game plan going into this. So it's still kind of educational and kind of interesting that way, as the team builder should be in your videos in itself. But like I said, you've been able to skip the part by now, so we're gonna be talking about first the Tapu Koko, which is gonna be coming into this game as a choice card for you, because I wanted to have a form of speed control over Dragon Dance Flygon, a Autonomized Celesteela, and a potential Scarfers, which could have been Flygon or Nihilego on the team preview wise that I had to worry about, and that's why I had to make this choice scarf. We are running it Naughty Nature, so we are lowering our speed depth but increasing our attack stat, and we are running Wild Just, Dashing Clean, Brave Bird, and U-Turn. And that's pretty much the Tapu Koko in itself. Has a phenomenal matchup on paper wise for him, and something he definitely has to worry about. But for me, it's there to provide that speed control and be one of the forms of winning conditions in this battle. Then we are bringing a Assault Vest, but speedy offensive Cloyster with the Assault Vest in itself, modest nature. We have enough speed. You're gonna notice that speed stat is very important for the Celesteela. If it's the Autonomized set, I'm like not gonna go super aggressive speed creep with this, because he could have less speed on Celesteela if he brings it as the offensive Autonomized set. But I'm going with, based on the fact that if the Celesteela is the Autonomized set, it's gonna have the certain model speed IVs, which is gonna be one less that I'm running right now, which would enable it outpace Tapu Koko, max speed Timid or Jolly after Autonomized. Hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of like the general idea of a speed creep that I'm sure that most of you experienced players who watch these videos understand what I'm coming from it. But if you're newer to this kind of concept and mindset of a speed creeping in traffic format, that's kind of what I'm looking after by doing that. So it gives me opportunity to outpace that and get up ideally 2 water pulses off, and with the Assault Vest, if it's the special variant with Meteor Beam set, I can lift the hit a lot easier thanks to the Assault Vest. It also means that I can take hits better from Nihilego, from Diancie, from Slowbro for example. So there's multiple potential ways that this Assault Vest can still come in handy while be able to still run the speed that I wanted to have just in case for the Celesteela. Then we are gonna be running heavy duty boots, modest, mostly special attacking orientated, and obviously U-turn for the initiative. And then we have a heavy motor bulk on physical side, which is there to enable to lift a Adamant Knockoff from a heavy duty boots Adamant Viva. So basically non-item boosted, we can always live it, and we have Blue Flare, Psyshock, Energy Ball, and U-turn. So that's basically the Victini. very good here paired with Tapu Koko. If I see something like a Serena trying to soft check Tapu Koko, I get the chip damage with the naughty U-turn with Koko going to Victini, and then it should be already in a range of Blue Flare easily if it's even an Assault Vest. And it gives me the option to U-turn out and see what his potential answer to Victini could be after that. Now we are bringing yet again a kind of weird Hydreigon set, unique in a way that while it set looks like a standard offensive Nasty Plot set with Dark Pulse, Flasken and Roost and the Nasty Plot in itself, obviously, we are running Bold Nature and we have the Maranga Berry, which is therefore taking a special hit better from Celesteela if it's the Autotomized set, because this is gonna be the initially the pivot into that Celesteela, and then I have Bulk to be able to leave a heavy slams from it if it's Adamant Nature. So basically this gives me the option not having to hard swap into things like Victini, Cloyster or Koko or whichever will try to at least at first respond to Celestica. So I have this to utilize it. I can Nasty Plot alongside it and start 2-hit KOing it, and without a fear popping a weakness policy, which could still be an item on Celestia. You have to always be aware of it, and I've been on the wrong side of it before myself, so I know I have to be very cautious of that myself. So that's the Hydreigon. Then we are running fully physical defensive, very predictable, but necessary Rocky Helmet throw with Circle Throw, Knockoffs, Rest, Sleep Talk. The nickname might seem a little weird to call it Nice Sock and not have any kind of like a reference that I tend to have. But this is basically because Marcus, somebody that I know from the community, he saw me during live the throw in itself, and he was like, "That's a nice sock," and I was like, "Man, thank you, but that's actually a throw." You can obviously tell from its coloring, because I had it colored at the time too, that yeah, it's a throw, by the way, it's red. But for some reason he said sock first in his own head, and so it was funny at the time for me in the call hearing that, so I was like, well, I don't have any reference for it, so you're gonna be Nice Sock, and we're gonna be shouting out for that little conversation that I had back then with him. So pretty much that's basically the throw. Like obviously it's gonna be physical defensive for the V-Wall, for the Flygon and things like that, and you can just circle throw things away if they're trying to set up in front of me. This will mean that I put them out of the field, but it's a -6 priority similar to Trick Room, so I would have to take the hit first if I remember right. And then we have Knockout to get rid of items, which is essential, getting rid of Assault Vest or reducing berries or weakness policies or choice scouts, whichever item he might have, they're actually pretty critical to get rid of in this matchup particularly. So it's important to have throw in this team besides being defensive. Pivot to things like the Viva and Flygon. And then we have a very weird, but I'm hoping it's gonna pan out, which is gonna be Resto, Chesto, Body Press, Cosmic Power, Toxic, Colossus, the Metacross. And this is there to be a mod that can sort of deal with things like Diancie and Nihilego if needed to, like naturally wise, typing wise. But it's also there not being a setup fodder or liability versus something like a Celesteela, for example. Because like, if I had Thunder Punch, it's not gonna do enough. Even if I'm adamant fully attack investment. And if it's again a weakness policy, it's gonna just maul through my entire team after that. It's gonna be bad time for me. If I try to make it like a very bulky stealth rocking set, it's gonna still lose to things like Slowbro in itself and lose me a whole ton of momentum if it has teleport on it. So I figured this set at very least can do either a lot of work, it could even win in the right scenarios, but it can be very annoying for him to take down and take a lot of resources for him able to beat this thing, which I kind of like, because then he has less resources for my other stuff that we already covered before. So that's basically the team, and now let's go and see how that battle turns out. Alright, here we are with the battle with the Sallymumble, and let's see what he's gonna be bringing. This, by the way, this battle is happening on the same day as it's supposed to be uploaded. That is due to my behalf, since my Switch got broken 2 days before the Pokemon Legends Arceus came out. So it was pretty unfortunate because I had to wait 6 days for it to return for me ever since the release came out. And then I've kind of been in a catch-up moment. I have to play Sallymumble today, and then I have to prepare and play my Week 5 battle tomorrow for myself. So we are playing a little bit of catch-up, but I have had time at least prepare for this battle and I feel good about it. But let's see how it's gonna be going. And obviously good luck and have fun to opponent. And he's gonna be bringing Weavile, Flygon. Based on the fact that I don't see Nihilego, I could see that Flygon being Scarf on this team. We see Bufforan, Diancie. This is giving me a little bit of Trick Room vibes. in a way. With either Diancie or Slowbro both. And Heatmore is definitely here for my Victini, which is fair enough. Fair enough from his side. But my lead of choice will be my Suck. Because I can pretty much knock off anything for free. And yeah, I should be I'm kind of expecting something like a Flygon as a lead. As long as it's not Diancie, I'm honestly in a decent shape of Slowbro. But that's gonna be the lead of choice. One massive surprise I'm noticing now is that there's no Celesteela. Which I guess, yeah, fair enough. I had Tapu Koko and Victini, but I thought still outside of my Celesteela I could try to make something happen, but that's not the case in itself, and no Serena either. So I could see definitely something like a Buffalon to be a Southwest, or Flygon could also be Rosary Berry with Dragon Dance. That could be also a thing. But let's see what he leads out with. He leads out with the Buffalon, as I lead with my throw. And turn 1, I'm gonna be just going for a knockoff here. I get rid of item from this thing or Slowbro, which both I'm perfectly fine with. And let's see what he's gonna be doing. There are definitely interesting choices elite. This could be like I said, a Southwest for a Tapu Koko lead. And maybe he didn't want to reveal Flygon to be Choice Scout just yet, because he would be forced to U-turn. He does have Withdrawal. Let's see that Slowbro. There comes the Slowbro, okay. Let's see how much we are doing to this guy. We did a decent chunk to it. And there was a Wakam Berry on it, okay. Let me see that if that's like just max HP damage that we just did to it. That is way below, okay, that's probably like maybe like just max HP. Yeah, that could be just max HP. And I think I'll go into my Clytzer on this guy. I could also use my Hydreigon here, because I don't see the Celesteela being there. So I use Hydreigon, because I can get the berry off here and do some decent work with it. I'll keep the Clytzer a little bit healthier. It's more important in this battle now, looking at his team again. So let's see what he goes for. He goes for the Scald, which will pop my berry. Which is a weird thing for him to see, I suppose now. But it wasn't necessarily meant to maybe proc up just yet. But I could go for the Dark Pulse and engage the Buffalon item. Because I should be outside of range for Diancie killing me. I could also go for the Nasty Plot. Hold on, actually, how much Buffalon is doing to me? Buffalon, if it has like close combat or Mega Horn more likely. To my Hydreigon. He will not be able to kill me. But I think Dark Pulse is still fine. I wanna engage if it's a Southwest or not. So he does withdraw. There comes the Buffalon. Let's see how much are we doing. I'm not expecting a whole lot. Yeah, that's like 20% of damage to Buffalon. Yeah, that looks like a Southwest to me. So here he could go for the headshots. Or he could go for like close combat or Mega Horn. I'll go into my throw, because it should cover still the Mega Horn play. And I should take it very well. He goes for the Body Slam, okay. That shouldn't do a whole lot to us. And he will take the Rocky Helmet damage here. And here, to be honest, I could go for a knockoff again. And I think I'll just do that, just to be able to damage maybe the Slowbro a little bit more. And if he happen to stay in, I get rid of the Assault Vest. He does go for the Slowbro again. It will be at full health after the regenerator from the last time. So I don't mind this all too much. He could make the prediction this time around. But I think I'm okay still going to my Hydreigon. I don't think I need Hydreigon for anything else. And again, it's better to keep the Clyde so healthy. Because it does massive damage to Heatmore, Slowbro and Diancie all together, or even Flygon. And all I need to do is to chip down this Buffalant a little bit further, or the one that he had in the back. Do we see the Ice Beam this time around? No, we see a Hot Swap. Into the Buffalant. Now, because this was Body Slam, I don't actually mind too much staying in and weaken this thing. So I think I'll stay in and damage this with a Dark Pulse. Since it was Body Slam. I guess what that also would mean that if I do get paralyzed, it would mean that Slowbro cannot burn me and whittling me down that way. But I get some good damage on this. He does go for the close combat. I should take this relatively fine as we do. So I'm okay with this for now. I could roost up again, because I should take another one. I think at least. But he's also now -1. How much is my Dark Pulse doing? It would leave it in a range that it should die. Or even if it does live, I can actually go into my Metacross and start doing work from there. If it's at -2... I think I'll just Dark Pulse for damage. I should spend less time on my turns, but I kinda wanna get a feel of like what I need to do here in order to... Cause the Metacross definitely can win. This thing being weakened means that he has less answers for my Coco. And I'm okay letting this Hydra getting weakened or dying here potentially as well. If I roosted there, I would have been pretty okay, but that's fine. He does manage to kill my Hydra here. But this thing is in a range that it should die to anything. I could even go into my Colossal now. And start going for Cosmic Powers. Because I don't know what else he would do here. I could also go into my Cloyster, which he doesn't have a switching to. So I think I'll do that for now. I think I'm okay still waiting on the Metacross. Let's just go into Cloyster. We should be able to pick this thing off, or anything else that comes in doesn't like this thing at all. So we click Water Pulse. I have quite a bit of speed investment on this. I don't think this Buffalant could afford to have more speed than I have, based on the way it's been doing damage and how well it's been able to take damage. Yeah, it does stay in and die to this, which is good. So we did trade up Buffalant for Hydreigon. Definitely not normally what you wanna see as a trade up, but considering what we have to deal with in the back, I think I'll okay with this exchange. Slowbro does become a little bit more annoying for me to switching to. But Cloyster is a Southwest to deal with it, and I do have the Metacross to kind of been designed to beat it 1v1. And here comes the V-Wall. He knows that I have the throw in the back with the Rocky Helmet, but I still go into it regardless. There's no point letting him get damage on this thing at all. He does go for the knockoff. 164 to 128, that doesn't look banded to me. So I feel like this is like heavy duty boots. So I could just go for a rest here. Which I will do. Because this thing is very good for the Flygon and this V-Wall. And I doubt he's gonna be like going for a Sword Dance here in front of this thing. Like we're gonna see the Slowbro coming in, which is fine. And I definitely want to keep this thing healthy for Flygon in itself. Now when it comes to things that I can potentially set up on, it's the slower guys like Diancie and Slowbro that I can try to set up with Cosmic Powers. Because if the Slowbro happens to burn me with Scald, I have Resto Chesto to engage that. But I haven't been able to gain damage on Flygon just yet, so I would have to go maybe beyond +3 in order to beat it. But I'll go for the rest here. I wonder if he didn't pull a double last time. Well, he did pull double last time and he didn't click Terraport on this, so this definitely could still be Trick Room. But for now, I'll use Cloyster as a switching to this. But we will withdraw and let's see what he clicks here. And we go into our Kleutzer. As he goes for this skull, we should be taking this just fine. We are Southwest Kleutzer. He does manage to get the burn, which is a little annoying because now I am worn down a lot faster than I would like to be. He doesn't have the greatest Dark Pulse switchings. Even if the V-Wall comes in, I'll do good damage to it. So I'll go for the Dark Pulse. Because he will have limited amount of time he can do that with V-Wall. And if I start seeing him like making a lot of pivoting around this Kleutzer while I'm burned, then I respawn myself and pull the Metacross card. Because knowing the fact that V-Wall is not banded means that it's a lot easier off to do the work that I needed to do. I do have to watch out for Heat Mode. Thankfully with clear body, Heat Mode's Fire Lash will not be as big of a deal to my Metacross, but I do want to see that what point does Fire Lash stop two-shotting me. At +1 it already avoids it. He does stay in. And we do massive amount of damage to this Slowbro, and we flinched him. That's unfortunate. For his sake obviously, because now Water Pulse is free for me to click. So I feel bad for that he got flinched, but like Scalp Burn is 30%, flinch is 20%. I got a little bit lucky on the extents. Now he has to use V-Wall as a pivot, but this gives me huge Water Pulse damage on this V-Wall. Which is not something he will enjoy. And yeah. Now we just go back into our throw, honestly. There's no point of like... He knows the cycle that I'm doing here, but I'm perfectly fine still where I'm at. And now this V-Wall is at 15%, so I can mark that. Slowbro, I would say, will be at 40% after the regen. The other guys, we haven't seen what they have done. He does just go for the knockoff. And now I can pull off a Sleep Talk. This does mean that it opens up opportunity for him to get Slowbro in, and if he pulls it in on a right Sleep Talk turn, it will gain health here. Let's see what he does. He does go into the Slowbro, will it? Yeah, that's now 45%. Let's see what we pull off. We pull off a rest, not ideal, obviously. Now, do I keep going into my Kleutzer on this? I would get a little bit worn down here if he keeps clicking that. I could try to get my Metacross in, but I don't want to come in on this turn particularly yet. I think I have to just use the Kleutzer here. It will provide the pressure for him not able to swap in on it the turn after. Because Dark Pulse will claim something relatively easily. He does hard withdraw. Into who though? Diancie. Is he trying to pull off a weakness policy sweep here with Diancie on the Trick Room? How much am I doing to this guy with my Kleutzer? I would do 73%. I feel like there's something up here that he is trying to pull off. So I'm gonna go into my Metacross now just to see what he clicks. There's a reason he made this double. There's a reason why he made this double, so I'm not giving him the weakness policy because I would be in a bad shape. So I will just hard withdraw. I could have clicked U-turn, but that's kinda whatever. He withdrew again. And he goes back to the stopper. Okay, so he just wanted to gain the regen back. Which I'm okay with, because now I can Toxic this and start Cosmic Powering here. So I'll Toxic this. As we do land it, so this Slowbro will be at least on a timer this way. As he does go for the Trick Room, okay. Now I will Cosmic Power here though. I will Cosmic Power here. Because then it means that Heatmore cannot two-shot me. As he goes for the Scald. And we get up our Cosmic Power. Okay. Now I can go for another Cosmic Power here. And get myself at +2. He goes for the Scald again. I have Resto Chesto, so I can utilize that very soon. As he does burn me. So now we're gonna be going for the rest next. As he's getting worn down by the Toxic. And now we pull off the rest. And I think we should be good shape from there. To be honest. He does withdraw, so now I get my free rest off. As the Heatmore comes in. So I'm gonna be at full health. No burn whatsoever left. And now I can get rid of this Heatmore, which is pretty big for V-Val, for example. Not V-Val, for my Victini. I was looking at V-Val for my other screen of what he has left, and I, for whatever reason, I thought about saying it. Is the Trick Room still up? Just out of curiosity. He has one more Trick Room turn, okay. Either way, I'm gonna Body Press here. 2 Body Presses should two-shot this. As he goes for the Fire Blast, that will not drop my defense. Thanks to Clear Body. And we should do quite a bit of damage to this guy. And now the Trick Room is back to normal. And now I will two-shot this. He can go back to the Slowbro, but it's gonna be taking a lot of damage now. And it's gonna be worn down by the Toxic. He does go for the Sucker Punch. Doesn't do a whole lot. And we get up another Body Press. Alright. That's the Heatmore gone. And now we had the Slowbro on a timer. The Slowbro has shown to have Scald and Trick Room thus far. No Teleport. So it's probably 3 attacks then. Diancie, we haven't seen anything yet. I had to be worried about it being weakness policy still. But he at least didn't stay last time around with it. Now that I'm at +2 with this Metacross. And I think I was 109 HP. How much is Flygon doing to me? If it's just max attack. He goes into V-Val first. Okay. That should be okay, I'll just kill it. With Body Press. We are +2 defense and we already used our item. So it shouldn't do a whole lot, yeah. Now we are at 71 HP, just to keep it track for myself. This thing should be dead. And Flygon's EQ cannot kill me at this point. If it's solely max attack and no boosting item. Now he does go to the Flygon. The issue here would be that if this is Dragon Dance variant, I kinda don't wanna rest here. And the last 2 members that he has, like Diancie and the Slowbro. Diancie, I can Circuit Throw still with Throw. So I think I'll just take the damage on this thing so Coco can finish it off. He does go for the Dragon Dance, okay, so I'm glad that I didn't like go for a raw rest. And I am Scarf with my Coco, so I can revenge kill this thing. And I doubt that would be in a range of Rosary Berry. Let's go for the Body Press again. The Flygon is at 30%, I think. So let's say if it's Rosary Berry. I can even like Brave Bird, to be honest. I don't think I have to even risk a Rosary Berry. So I'll just go into my Coco here. Because Braypird will do a lot to it. It should do over half to this thing if it's like standard and no like major bulk on it. So I think I'm safe to click Braypird and get rid of this thing that way. If he swaps, it's not too big of a deal. I think at least. But right now what I'm seeing that what are the biggest threats to me, still this Flygon if he happens to preserve it, and Diancie with Trick Room. Depending on its item, it's still a little bit of an issue. I think what I would have to do, I have to Psyshock it down to the point that Diancie dies to Water Pulse for my Cloyster. That's the main thing that I'm seeing. Now he knows I'm Scout, so it should give him a free Diancie. Yeah, there comes the Diancie. I can probably give him Throw at this point, and I can always Circle Throw it or knock off the reducing item. So I'll probably use Throw first for this. And I need to look at my Sleep Talk. I'm pretty sure I burned one thus far, and I pulled the rest that time around. Yeah, there comes the Trick Room. I should leave any one hit unless it's very like item boosted. So I have to go for one Sleep Talk now. As he does go for the Moonblast. I wanna say I live this. I'm a like throw after all. Yeah. Like if I just get rid of its item or I can Circuit Throw it out, I'm perfectly fine with either. But we don't get either. We don't unfortunately get either of them. He does have the Earth Power on it. So he's fully special as we can tell. So I think... How many turns of Trick Room has it been spending thus far? Can my Coco leave a Diancie's hit if I can just wall charge this? I could go into Victini as well. If it's Trick Room attacker with Diamond Storm, my Victini should leave any one hit. Victini should leave any one hit and I can Psyshock it for some damage. I have to just not click Energy Ball until I'm confident that it dies. I won't go Cloyster yet. Let me look at that info on the Trick Room turns. He has 2 turns of Trick Room. So we're gonna Psyshock now. He has the Earth Power. It will 2-hit KO me, so I will give him this. But ideally Cloyster should be able to pick this thing off after that. Pretty sure Cloyster should be able to do the job at this point. And if it's been like Moonblasting me, I'm gonna use this time now while I can see the Moon in front of me. Moonblast. I should be able to take any one hit with it, so... Yeah, 42.5. He does go for the Mystical Fire. Okay, so he didn't have a rock move on it. Okay, now it's at least at half health. That's at least the case. He will have to Trick Room again, but I will not let my Cloyster come in at this point of time yet. Or do I? He has to Trick Room here. But I will take a round of burn damage. I think I'm fine just staying in. And we will not proc the Weakness Policy again. I don't want it to be Weakness Policy and Trick Room up. Yeah, there comes the Trick Room again. We click Psyshock again. As he clicks the Earth Power. Does my Coco live that Earth Power from this Diancie? Coco. Earth Power would kill me, so that's not the play to do. I have to rely on Glycer at this point. I'm at 92 HP. So I should live Moonblast here. So let's click Water Pulse. And this thing should be dead afterwards. After that we deal with the Slowbro. But we should be okay here. Come on Glycer, I believe in ya. There we go. No critical hit, no special attack drop. And then I can just Dark Pulse the Slowbro, and hopefully that's good game from there. Hopefully, Glycer, I need you to pull this one off. Granted, my Coco should be able to live any hit from this Slowbro too. And it's still poisoned. And we go for the Dark Pulse. See if our Assault Vest comes in play. I don't, like, depending on if he has Psychic or not on this. I'm wondering what its coverage. It does have Crash Knot, okay. That probably kills me at this point. Yeah, it does kill my Glycer. But now Tapu Koko, you'll ideally come in and just Wild Charge and kill this Slowbro here. And we should be good to go, and it's gonna be very narrow 1-0 win regardless to either of us. So I can be happy that I'm doing a lot better than the first time around we played. But barring any shenanigans, I should be okay, right? We click Wild Charge. He doesn't have the Wakam Berry anymore. He does go for the Scald. He gets the burn. Does that mean we lose the game? I am not in nature still. Oh, we lose the game because of that. Are you kidding me? Is the Trick Room gonna go off? Twisted Dimension have gone back to normal. We do manage to win this. Oh my god. Oh my god. He got the burn. But we managed to still win because we did live that. I was not in nature, so it was really risky in that regard to play it out this way. But oh my god, that was... Sorry that my narration was really intense and focused, but I think based on how the game went so down to the wire, it was worthwhile in order for us to get the 0-0 win over Sallymumble. So as close as it can possibly get. Obviously the burn meant that we lost the differential. But I'm okay with that. I was more so worried that if I lose the game or not, because I didn't count at the time, like, okay, how many Trick Room turns there are going to be. But either way, great game to Sallymumble. Make sure to check his side, especially if you haven't seen his draft analysis. Please go and watch it. I will call it one of the most wholesome draft analysis I've seen, because he did it with his partner. I think that they are still in a relationship, so his girlfriend, and they are like wholesome and a beautiful couple. So it was like enjoyable for me in that regard. It's always cool to see people kind of trying out different things to do draft analysis in different ways, and he's a up and rising talent in draft league scene. He can push even top Wi-Fi players who like top, I should use it this way, the more established and more well-known players to the limit, and he has what it takes to potentially even like pull a very strong season still. He does go 2-2 after this game, -3 differential still, but he still had plenty of weeks to go to make to the playoffs. And we saw last time in Champions Gala tournament, he was able to plus it in last week. So let's hope for his sake he can do that, and make sure to check his side and check all of the other coaches in the league and the week 4 battles that have probably gone up by the time you have seen this, because I'm recording this and we battled this on the day, because again, my Switch was broken. But I'm gonna be coming back for you. For me, it's gonna be a very short time. I'm gonna be playing my week 5 already tomorrow, and I need to go eat and start preparing for that. So I'm ready to face Matt O'Shea for week 5 to make sure I'm back at scheduling with UBL. But until then, thank you for watching. I'm gonna be see you guys later.